It's Coach D here. I'm a post-secondary and workforce readiness coach, author, and speaker. And I'm empowering educators, inspiring students, and transforming schools one conversation at a time. Welcome to Coach D Wants to Know, the podcast where we dive deep into all things post-secondary success. Whether it's career readiness through college, trade schools, the military, apprenticeships, or entrepreneurships, we're talking about it. This podcast is for school leaders, counselors, business owners, parents, and students who want to explore every opportunity behind high school. Because when we know better, we guide better. So let's jump in and uncover the possibilities together because Coach D wants to know. So for other mothers out there, what's one piece of advice you would give to parents of high school students?
Be engaged and trust the process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Coach D Wants to Know. I am Kimberly Wilson Daniel, and I am a post-secondary readiness coach, and I am starting a specifically just a special series where I am going to be highlighting super seniors, and that means those seniors who have gone through high school, been very successful, taken the tools, the tips, the strategies, and implemented them. And I'm going to let them come in their own way, answer some questions to help encourage those who are coming behind them. The parents, I need you all to pay attention because there are going to be some questions that you need to know. Students, I need you to pay attention as well. Principals, counselors, everybody. We're going to touch all of it today. We're going to touch all of it. So right now, I am blessed to welcome here Mr. Tylek Jones. And Tylek, you are my super senior that I'm going to be speaking to today. I know he has a lot to say. Trust me, Tylek has a lot to say. But it's all powerful. I love Tylek. I loved watching his journey this year as a senior. And for you all that are out there, Savannah State alumni, he is going to be one of yours. So he is headed to Savannah State in the fall. So, let's get to know Tylek a little bit. So Tylek, just open up just a little bit, give them just a little tad, just a little touch about who you are, because we're going to get more into it in the question. So,
Gotcha. My name is Tylek. Like she said, I am a very outspoken person, outspoken, fun, but also love helping others.
And I think that's one of the things that really drew me to you. When I went to the school, I think you might have been the first or the second person that I met. And
I say first.
You say first. It might have been. It was between you and Samaya. I don't remember. It was one or the other.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that.
And Destiny was in that close somewhere too. But when I say someone that really embodies school spirit, the mission, the vision of the school, the one you want to, if you have guests come and you want Tylek to be in the midst, you want Tylek to go meet them, to greet them, because he really would give them a really great impression of the students that we have in the school. The students who are really moving and want to see a difference in this world, and actually not just talking the talk, but actually walking the walk. And so I think that's what I really met. And when I met you, I learned that about you very quickly. You were not just about the fluff, saying what you think people want to hear, but you were actually doing it and doing it well. So we're going to get a little bit more into it so you all can actually get to know a little bit more about him. We're going to talk about him, his journey through high school, what advice he has to give others, and then what's next for him in this life. So let's get started, Tylek.
Let's get started.
All right, so let's go. So we talked a little bit about Savannah State. Tell me what you're most excited about.
It sounds so weird, but I'm most excited about being on my own, having my own independency. This is my decision that I made. And just seeing, because everybody's like, no, don't go. And I'm just like, yes, let me be me. I'm tired of being just stuck.
I think that one thing that I am really excited about for you all, and everybody was like, Coach D, it's okay to cry, to be sad. And I was like, I don't have sadness in me because I've seen you all and I know y'all are ready for this next step. So it's not a sad moment. It's really, I have like this stick your chest out prideful moment for you all that are getting ready to go out there. And like when I went to your graduation party, I knew without a shadow of doubt God was going to be all up in there and some elders, because you have this presence about you that says that the elders have really spoken into your life and spoken over your life, probably since before birth. I don't even know. But they have covered you, they have kept you in alignment with God, and it shows in you throughout your daily walk. So again, it's that type of mindset that I have about you that knows that you're going to go out there, and even though you're trying to go out there and be grown and be, as you call it, what, on my own, what you call it?
On my own.
On my own.
And it ain't even that. It's just like we get accustomed to our parents want this, our parents want that, and then and when it's our turn, everybody like, I don't know what to do because I've always had instructions. I got my own instructions.
Okay, I like that. And I think what's really good about it too is you're not going out unprepared.
Yeah.
So again, I think that's the difference. You're prepared for what's next. And so I think, you're going to do great. You are going to, I know, I don't even think it, I know. All right. So tell us a little bit about the major you chose and why you chose that major.
So my major is music education. I chose music education because I am a band head 24/7. I love music. So I didn't know this until the grad party. When I was really, really young, I wanted drums then. And they was like, no. And look at me now.
Look at
a percussionist, right? But I chose in music education. I was like, what do I want to do? I know I wanted to stay in the school to help kids, help people. But I'm not going to say I hate, but I just don't have that same drive for other subjects. So I was like, and let's do music. It's where I can, you learn something new every day. You're always building, and when you bring music to life, it's an amazing feeling.
It is. If any of y'all have ever seen Drumline and you see the characters and whatever, Tylek is every percussionist in Drumline. I mean, he's, everything. He is Drumline to the T. He loves it. He's great at it. And I think you were section leader. So, and the people that speak about him, the underclassmen or those that are in they feel like he was like the greatest role model. And so again, for people to get up and speak that highly of you, that means a lot.
And what I didn't know was, and it was like, you as an underclassman was always a section leader. You just ain't never had the title. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, if you said anything and it made sense, it happened. I was like, you know what? Y'all need to pay me for that. That was like free labor just then.
It wasn't free labor. That was you modeling the CEO mindset, the band leader mindset already. You're embodying it as a young person. And so again, you're showing leadership, and you're going to need that on that college campus. You're going to need that as an educator. You're going to need that as maybe a future principal someday, because I could literally see you running the school. Because he thinks he ran the school anyway. He kind of sort of did, but
she said it, not me.
Yeah, he kind of sort of did. So how did you narrow down? And I know you said the other subjects didn't really appeal to you, but when was it that light bulb, that moment,
that click?
Yeah.
So I had fourth period where it was like off. Let's just say off. And I would go in the band room, and it's beginning band, and so it's like freshmen who just, you'd be like, oh, you like band? Okay. And I came in there, and this girl, her name is Taraji, and she's real innocent. She was one of the ones who be trying but just don't get it. And I went back there because it was driving me insane. Because like as a percussionist, I know how it's supposed to sound, and you back there screwing it up. And I go back there and I explain it, and she understands. I was like, hold up, you get it? Yeah, because you just said do this and do that, and they get you the outcome. And I'm like, huh. And it was like stress free. It wasn't no like, I got to come back to this. It was something that I enjoyed. Again, I like helping people, so it worked out. And I told Lloyd, and I was like, this is it. Like, this is it. It clicked in fourth period at 3:10. I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do.
I like that. I like that. So, we're going to transition a little bit more here as we get to know you a little bit. What's one thing people are always surprised to learn about you?
How involved I am. So everybody knows band, but outside of that, like you were saying, SGA, I did golf. I worked with the basketball team. I worked in the counseling office, Boy Scouts. So like I did a lot outside of that. So,
and again, you could see somebody. And did you have a job in high school?
Yeah, I started my job freshman year.
Right. So this is what I'm saying. So when
freshman year, yeah.
So when you have a lot of people out there who feel like there are not enough hours in the day. And that's a reason why I said I know y'all are prepared to go out, because y'all were holding down jobs. You were doing your extracurriculars. You were volunteering. Anything we needed you to do,
and
you all were there.
Missed a game,
right?
A band practice.
Right. It is doable. It is doable. You get, I think that again comes from within the household. I always talk about, and I always say parents are the first teachers. So that is something that was instilled from a young age, and it didn't become a chore, or it didn't feel like it was overbearing, or like y'all like to say, y'all doing too much, you're doing too much. It wasn't too much. It was just a part of who you are every day. So again, that just gave me the reassurance that I needed, that y'all are going to be fine in this work, because that's what it takes. You get your systems together, you get your day set up, and you move through the day, and it becomes a part of you. It becomes who you are.
And I started working as a freshman, and my mom was like, "You don't need to work." I was like, "Listen, I want my own. I'm starting my own independency now. So when I get there, it's not, Mommy,
And I think that's something you touched on, something that I've talked about a lot. Parents these days say that, they don't want their children to work. They want them to focus on this or to focus on that. But where are they supposed to learn those real world skills from the workforce, where our HR departments are saying, hey, I need them to come in and know how to have some conflict resolution. I need them to know time management. I need them to know money skills. I need them to know customer service.
And that's parents are just
right. So you're holding them, and sometimes I think it's like you forget that, yes, you had to work when you were young, because we all had jobs. We had, jobs as soon as we could work. Even before we had the age limit of 16 or 15 with a worker's permit, we were working in somebody's recreation department, keeping the score. We were doing something. Yeah. And it was those skills that we developed a long time ago that made us productive people now. And I think there gets a blurry spot between you thinking you had to work because your family or your situation wasn't where it was supposed to be, and you forget that it was those experiences, though, that made you the great worker you are today, or the great community member. So it's this gap between, I don't want my kid to work because they shouldn't have to, and forgetting that, no, that's what they need to do. And they're not doing it because they have to. They're doing it because they need to.
Right.
All right. So we gotta definitely make sure people understand you need to have a job. You need to be doing something productive in the summer. It's not a summer off. It's get some work done during the holidays, during the break.
I learned how to talk to people because I got a job.
There you go.
I worked at a restaurant, and it's a lot of older people, and you just be like, right. And you build that kind of communication, because everybody just came out of COVID. So people don't know how to communicate.
Right.
You build the communication skills, time management, and you got to know how to handle situations, how to clock in, clock out.
So all those things that as soon as you are out of your parents' house, like you're supposed to, the world expects it. The world expects it. You don't have time at that particular point to learn it. Yeah. So I like that. All right. Okay. When you need a confidence boost, y'all getting ready to, have a game, or y'all are going to do a competition, or y'all are going to battle of the bands, whatever. So what's your go-to hype song when you need to boost your confidence?
2 answers quick. So we don't really have one. So our drumline,
Yes.
we got a speaker and we got R&B going.
Mhm.
It's real laid back. We
Okay.
laughing and chilling,
Mhm.
and we get to where we're going, and we pray, and it's dead silence.
Oh, I love
So
that.
that's the turn on your killer mode. Like,
Okay.
but now me personally,
Uh-huh.
T-Pain, ringleader man.
Okay. And he just let me hear that just a little bit of, because I was like, well, I don't know that. And he told me, he was like, that's way back in what, 2010? Is that what you
Like
said?
the tens, yeah.
Okay.
something
So
like
yeah. Music, the man knows music. He really does. Let's see. The educator in me, I got my questions prepared here. It's a lot of them because I want to make sure I'm pulling out the aspects of you that I really want our kids, our parents, our counselors to understand what's going on with our young people, so that we can better support you all as you go through what you're going through in life. Is there any kind of quotes, scripture, motto, mindset that you live by?
My grandma always tell me, you let them run your mouth and you run your business.
Ooh, explain that to me. Say it one more time.
You let them run your mouth. Their mouth, excuse me. You let them run their mouth and you run your business.
Okay, talk to me.
And so I think, and that's something that I learned, like, I want to say in middle school, everybody's changing. I think I'm better than him, and you come home upset. Like, she was like, hey, listen, you ain't got time for that. This is your end goal. This is, pretty much like, and this is where, and you want to go. This is how you get there. It's going to be distractions. It's going to be this.
Right.
And they going to run them out, but the same ones who run them out is going to come back to you for help. It's always a clock. It's going to come back. And so as long as I take care of business, I'm good.
Okay. I love it. See, I told you I knew the old. So I knew without a shadow of doubt there were going to be some elders there at your part. I knew God was going to be in the presence, in the midst. I knew you had been raised in the church.
I want to say there is a scripture. Side note.
You got a little side note scripture, something
that just be like in my head.
So as you're finding that, I'm gonna look through and see. Ooh, I think I like this one. As you're looking for this one, how would your best friend describe you in 3 words?
So I'm not gonna say it's a scripture, but it's this quote I found, and it was like, overthinking can kill your peace. Pray, trust, and leave it in my hands. Says God, right?
Yes.
So like, and whenever I get overwhelmed,
Oh, I know. When you get overwhelmed.
Whenever I get overwhelmed, I just kind of like, okay, God, this is how it's going. This ain't how it's supposed to go, but here's it to you, and I'm gonna let it go.
I like that.
So yeah, my best friend would say that, very outspoken, very real, very always trying to find a way. So me, like, and I don't think on a one-way street. I'm more of like, okay, 3 ways and maybe 4. So I'm very thinking all ways. So she always say, I think a lot. And so yeah.
Okay, I like that. So outspoken. You say real,
yeah.
And then you think multiple ways, multiple solutions. So you see an issue, a challenge. I'm not even going to say a problem, because most problems are just challenges. Yeah. So you look at multiple ways to overcome those challenges.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, they're just challenges. All right. Let's see. Last one that I'll ask before we go in and talk a little bit more in depth about your high school journey. What is something besides band and drumming? What is something you've always been passionate about, even before high school?
Just helping people. There was a custodian at my elementary school, and I used to stay at school to help her clean, and it was just like, wow. And she passed early in the year, and I went, and I was like, that's that boy. But no, I just love helping people. Somebody helped me, and so I was like, and we gotta, because helping, it does what? it put a smile on somebody else's face. Right. That's how you can build a bond. That's how you build a network, you know, if that needs to happen.
And we talk about this network often.
Right. And so it's just helping people, you know.
Right. That's a good, because that means you have a servant's heart, and that's going to be very important in education, because every kid that comes to you in band, sometimes it has nothing to do with band, and it has everything to do with
hygiene. I'm sorry.
With hygiene, that too. So that's part of education. Yeah. But you got to meet them where they are and supply those basic needs. I can tell you, I've coached basketball, I've coached volleyball, I've taught middle school. So yeah, you coming in after PE.
The middle school hallways, but all of them smell like that though.
That's a lot of bodies, and you still got, again, you still have PE on a regular basis. You still have running at, is getting as much outside activity you can in after lunch, and then we all coming back into this enclosed space.
But it makes you feel so grateful when somebody builds up the confidence to say, "Hey, I need help."
It does.
Like I don't take that
lightly. And then you have to look at it that, okay, the fact that they trusted me with it. So that's a beautiful thing, and it's going to be one of those situations where you really understand the power of relationships in education, the power of someone been in a school 2 or 3 years, but did not build that relationship with others, but they built it with you. So it's a powerful, powerful position to be in. So, and I can see that for you. I can see that you reaching a lot of people through your band program in that manner. All right, so let's do this transition. Let's transition to your high school journey. Yeah, so I was blessed to see just the senior year of it, but I can't imagine it being any more different than this. I'm sure that was you from day one. So, okay, let's start with your story. What's one word that you would use to describe your high school journey, and why did you choose that word?
One word.
That's a hard one, huh?
That is. One word. But see, every word I gotta say is like a church word.
What's wrong with that?
I want to say faithful. So
why'd you choose faithful?
Because high school, and you gotta trust every process, from new teachers, new friends, new administrators. New administrators, new people coming in and out your life.
Right.
And so you gotta be faithful to and trust that what they are pouring into me is what I need to know.
Okay.
Right.
Not necessarily what you want to know,
right?
But what you need to know. Yeah. Okay, I like that. Very, very deep.
And I don't want to go deep.
Why not? We need to showcase. And again, this is one of the reasons why I'm doing this, because all of the bad, air quotes intended, seems to get out to social media. Seems to get out to the news. Yeah. But there are, and a lot of times that's only 10% of a school. But for some reason, it makes it out and it makes it look like that's 100% of the school. Yeah. But that 90% of you all who are doing the right things, who are making differences, and are going to go out here into the world, y'all rarely get the light. And so that's why I was like, I'm going to highlight this to make sure people understand you can be the true you. You don't have to try to fit in. You don't have to try to fit into what the world says you're supposed to be as a teenager. I want to showcase those who are out there that are the 90%. And so that's the reason why I'm doing this, to showcase the 90%.
I'm the 90.
He's the 90. He's one of the 90. Yes, definitely the 90. All right. So, what are some of the challenges that you faced during high school, and then how did you push through them?
Challenges were, people have this stereotype, and they always try and put us in there. And that was a big issue for me, because just because they act like this don't mean I act like this.
Right.
So don't treat me the same how you treat them, because I'm not them.
Right.
What I say that, knowing how to advocate for myself, right? And was a big thing. So it was like, well, if you need help, ask for help. Don't just sit there. And then it was, well, that's not right. But how do you tell an adult that's not right? Right. And so now I got to go up the whole chain of command. Hey, I can't learn in this environment. I'm telling the adult she is the problem. He, whomever is the problem. So, and I had to learn how to go up the chain of command, how to do this the right way, how to talk to people, how to build relationships, because relationships are what matter, right?
Right.
So, as you said earlier, I did not run the school, but I did have a lot of good relationships that helped me a lot.
Right. And again, a life skill that you're learning early on, because even when you get into the workplace, even when you're in college, wherever you are, there are going to be issues and challenges that you need to advocate for yourself in an appropriate manner. You know, again, that makes it out to social media on how you're supposed to handle. That is just for likes, for followers. You try to do that for real, and you probably won't have a job anymore. So all that is cute, and I think a lot of times social media plays out what we think we would do in our head, what we would love to do.
Oh yeah,
how we would love to handle
it. That job down, yeah.
But that's not how we actually handle it. Yeah. I think that's what's important.
And then brainwashing. It sounds weird, but brainwashing is has done a lot for me. And it's not like brain and washing you, but if I get you to see my vision, turn it into your vision, now I got you on board. And so now I don't got to keep saying, hey, that's wrong. Hey, this is this. So when I tell you what I'm seeing and you see it too, now we're working together. And it's not like me talking at you, right? So then, and when I do spaz, it's not you taking it as a yelling. It's like, well, dang, he just told me this is what he wanted. And I saw the vision, but I didn't do it. So now it's building accountability for whomever.
Right. So I think even, again, relating what you're talking to at your young age through, a section leader or whatever in the band space, that's real world out here, because when you're working on a team.
And then remember, I was Mr. Sophomore, Mr. Junior, Mr. LHS. So then I was in a lot of meetings with Dr. Wilkins, and then a lot of meetings with sponsors, and a lot of meetings about this.
Right. And so again, you're learning this early on, and you're learning how not everything is an argument.
Yeah.
Sometimes these are just things we need to work through as a unit, but everybody knows the mission and the vision or the reason, whatever, why we're here. And so again, like you said, people can take an accountability. Yeah, that is right. I knew that from the beginning. Let's retract. Let's go back through this and let's move through this in a different way. And then again, you still are a part of the team. You're still working together. Everybody's holding each other accountable. So again, all real world. And you learn that through your organizations, through being involved at the high school. And I think I tell so many people about getting involved in a high school area of the high school that is passionate to you, because you're going to be more than likely to be truly involved and not just on paper involved. And really just working to grow yourself and those lessons you learn. All the years I coached basketball, I should tell the kids, it's not about the ball. It's not about the score. It's not about the win or the loss. It's about all those life lessons that you learn along the way. Yeah. And so I think that's what you've picked up, a great amount of life lessons that will follow you all the way through. So again, I love it. I love it. I love it. Brainwashing. Really good. Really good term. All right. I met your mom on multiple occasions. So for other mothers out there, what's one piece of advice you would give to parents of high school students?
Be engaged and trust the process. So like my mom switched jobs to have days off, to be closer to home, to be engaged. And then trusting the process. She's like, man, you don't got to do that and you don't got to do this. Okay, all right. Who paid for college? Because a lot of parents don't really got that savings for the, let's just be honest with it. A lot of parents don't. And they just go hum and bum and loan when why?
Right.
And so when when she realized, like, hey, him doing this craft and me supporting that and doing everything he asked of, a practice at the house, hearing this noise, hearing this noise, and buying food for the drum line, like buying sticks and mallets, buying deodorant, buying just stuff, was an investment.
Right.
And you got to invest in your child to get the best outcome. So she invested in me. I never missed any practice, had everything I needed to be successful, and got a full ride.
I love it. And so I think the fact that you're talking about band, because a lot of
times, and it don't got to be
hear,
that. It could be
that's where I was going. Right. A lot of times you hear the sport, you hear baseball, you hear basketball, you hear football, but it's those academics. It's, because that could be me supporting you and making sure you get an SAT prep class. If that's your lane and that's where you need to go, I support you in that lane. It could be fine arts.
I know somebody who has their third grader in mathnasium right now. To like people, I know somebody who got her daughter in math classes where she's already good, and she was like, that's not enough for me.
Right.
Got her in reading classes all summer. So when she go back, she's already ahead.
Exactly. So whatever it is,
right,
that's the investment. Right. So whether it's sports, whether it's academics, the arts, whatever it is, they could be amazing artists and draw and everything. Invest into their craft, and because it will pay off later on. It really will. So I appreciate you saying that. Let's see. What programs, people, or experiences in high school made the biggest impact on your success right now? Programs, people, or experiences all through high school.
Outside of band, because clearly band. Outside of band, I would say the Career Center.
Oh, hey, okay, speak on it, because we're just not playing. Talk to me about it. And I'm saying that, and I'm laughing because this was the first year.
The first year we ever had, yeah.
Yeah, this was the first year there. So tell me your take on it. What did you think?
At first, it was like they came and took the teacher's lounge, which I'm not a teacher, right? But they had snacks and vending machines. So y'all took the teacher's lounge, like.
I got a lot of that.
But it was, at first, I was like, who these people? Then at first, so our band director, he finds joy in getting seniors scholarships. So on last year, we had like 5 point something million.
Right.
And 4.5 of that came from band. And so he was like, they just hired 2 people to do what I do with a handful of seniors. Okay, let's go. And it's not a rivalry. It's to get the best for the kids. So he always say it ain't personal.
Yeah, we had a ball.
It ain't personal.
We had a ball.
It's to make sure the kids get what they need. So the Student Success Center, Coach D, I'm like, hey, the first day, hey, I'm telling you who I am. I'm telling you off day one, I'm going to harass you. Because they told me you is the one to talk to, so I'm going to harass you. So the Student Success Center is just an amazing resource that I think every school should have. Like Samaya, and me and Samaya and Destiny, I want to say Caden, lived in there. lived in there.
Stacy.
So like, lunch, Stacy, Stacy's so cool. But anyway, so the Student Success Center was, hey, have you heard about this scholarship? Okay, like, have you heard about this? Have you heard about that? Okay, and they stayed on us. She printed out scholarships almost every day, handing them out. I'm like, Coach D, she was never on the go. I'm sorry, she was always on the go. I wanted her to be our golf coach, and she was like, I got too much going on, and she really did. Like, it was really her and Ms. Vega pouring into us in every way. Like, they took us on trips. This was the first year that Lithonia has went to trips for scholarships outside of one time. I've been there 4 years. They went once on last year to like a regular thing. They had us going to colleges. They had us doing everything. So it was really an investment. Her, Miss Harper, and I was saying, like, every school don't got this. And so I have friends at other school, and I'm like, y'all ain't got no money. But Coach D is there. The team of the Student Success Center has really been a positive asset to the Lithonia High School and the class of 2025, really.
And I think when I first got there, and shout out to Dr. Wilkins, this is my third school where she's been in leadership.
And she was like, oh, yeah, I don't have this here. She always, y'all don't.
So that was again. So she told me when she got there, she was like, I just don't, because she was a first generation student.
Really?
Going to college. Her mom didn't know anything. She filled out her own FAFSA on her own. Back in the day, had no idea what she was doing. She had no supports, ended up going to college. And by the time she got through, had over a tremendous amount of student loan debt. And she just has this mindset that no kid should have all the debt that she had.
Yeah.
And all she needed was somebody to point her in the right direction. And so that's when she asked me, she was like, okay, they don't have this. These kids are great.
Yeah.
They don't have the resources over here. We need this going. And so, of course, we went through all the processes and everything, and it worked out. Was able to be hired.
Look at God.
Look at God. And when I got there, I was overwhelmed a little bit too. I was like, well, where is this? Well, when are y'all doing this? Or when do we do this? Or how, or whatever. Because at first it was just me alone by myself because, other things were coming into play, but it just took a while for them to get there. I'm pushing in the classrooms to catch as many kids as I could. I'm in the hallways. I'm pulling y'all in. I'm, doing everything I could to make sure y'all knew that somebody was in this building.
For y'all.
And so
then everybody was like, it's the lady. What lady? It's two of them. The lady. She's like, what lady?
Yep. So we became the go-to. We became the support system to make sure. And so as Dr. Wilkins began to bring in more resources, like, okay, so we have resources now. So then I became like this person that had to make it make sense. Make it make sense so that we were not doing triple work. Everybody was really getting the resources that they need, the support that met them where they were, because, we made it very strategic. We divided it out by those who wanted to go military because, again, how I am about military. I'm going to support my military people just as much as I'm going to support anybody else.
I was so tired of being in homeroom for this ASVAB testing, for this her. This is her.
And that's why we got the scores that we got.
Right.
And that's why our kids go where they want to go in the military with the career that they chose, based on their scores. So it's really about making sure that you all have equitable resources that every other school has.
Yeah. And let me not forget anybody with any other programs. I know y'all were a big part. The counseling center, and we got a new head counselor. So it was like she trying to get the tradition down, how this going, but still do her job and get these seniors out. So her and Coach D got together. And then, of course, the band program, the ROTC with Commander Webb, all the programs, basketball, every program fed into Coach D because they was like, hey. And she was like, ta-ta. So, yeah.
Ta-ta.
Yeah.
It was more than ta-ta. It was a lot more than ta-ta. But we have a model now. And that's what I'm most excited about next year. So that's why the juniors are challenging y'all. I already gave them their challenge. We hit 14 million with y'all and we still growing.
Yeah, so, I still got stuff. I got to turn it.
It's coming in. So, and that was my biggest thing. Give me the proof. Because we got to run these numbers up. But they got to we got to have the proof of these numbers. Because people are not going to believe us when they see what we did last year as opposed to what we're doing this year. Yeah. So we had to have, we did more than enough. We went overboard with the proof. We got the big black notebooks. Ooh. We got everything. And I'm like, who go, okay, you want the proof here? We got the spreadsheets because we knew people were not going to understand how we went from this little
in a year,
in 1 year's time to this massive amount. And it's all about exposure. It's all about meeting kids where they are and actually holding their hands through the process as well as their parents. So it wasn't just you all parents, welcome. Come on, we're going to help you. I was one student. I was like, I don't know if you go to school here or your daddy goes to school here because he's here just as much as you are. But that's what we were there for.
Yeah.
And again, so we got this model and, we've already challenged the junior class. We already started with the junior class last year.
And we're the historic class. It says our superintendent.
Yeah, so. He did say that at graduation. Y'all were the historic class. And so, the junior class has the bulls, bulls out on their backs right now. But they're ready. We're ready. We're ready
Listen.
to make it happen for the kids. So again, I'm blessed to be able to have had such a great group my first year of seniors at Lithonia, because it wasn't as though y'all didn't already have it in you. I think it was just more or less what you didn't know was out there and available to you.
Yeah.
So y'all were doing the work, because we couldn't have had the success if y'all weren't already doing the work.
Yeah.
So it made it easy that you all had that foundation and that understanding, and you knew that you wanted to go somewhere, and you knew that it was possible. You just needed somebody to show you how to make the plan work. So, I was blessed to be able to be in that position with you all, to shout y'all out, to give y'all all y'all props. Because, again, at the graduation, I'm sitting big dog style. I'm proud. Yes, we did that. Yes, and we did. Yeah. And did. So, again, I'm excited about what's going on. Again, another reason why I want y'all to come on here and tell your stories, because I need kids to know that it is possible. Mm-hmm. As long as you're doing the work and you don't fall off the work, somebody will come in and show you the way.
Yeah, right.
Somebody's going to just show you the way. All right. Let's see. Where do we want to go? Okay. Ooh. If you could go back and talk to your freshman self, what advice would you give your freshman?
Oh my God. Don't fail no classes. Right. So I am beyond blessed to have had an amazing senior year, and I wouldn't change it. But I would tell myself, don't fail no classes. I failed one class freshman year, and it was hard. I had to play catch up, and then I had to get into AP classes. I was like, what? But they was like, this will bring and this up and some. Okay, bet, sign me up. Mm-hmm. So I would say, like, in your freshman year, have fun, but you got to surround yourself with people who gonna work. Mm-hmm. So, like, all my friends, and we dumb smart. Mm-hmm. But it's time to party. Oh, we complete idiots. We're complete idiots. So you got to have that balance. Don't fail any classes freshman year. But I still had fun though.
Yeah, and I think it's the balance.
Yeah,
finding your balance, because it goes faster. I always talk about how in the middle school, if you don't do something, they might give you a 50. Even if you didn't do nothing, put your name on that paper.
Yeah,
you might get a 50.
We got a 50. My band director failed me. Yeah. Like, dude and I are this close.
No, I'm talking about middle school.
Yeah.
They give you the 50s. Yeah. High school, no. No. We're not doing that. We don't.
What's up, Mr. Lord? Oh. Yeah, 0. Oh.
So that's the switch, and it's an automatic switch. It's not we're going to give you some time. No, it switches automatically.
Now, you may have a teacher who going, hey, babe, hey, this is a one and done thing now. Mm-hmm. But if this is a reoccurring, oh yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and be like 0.
Right. Yeah. So again, take it with stride, but understand you're there for a purpose. You're there for a reason. And what I would even tell my juniors this year, talking with them, is that keep in mind the application you use for scholarship, the transcript you use for scholarships and college applications is 9th through 11th grade. You don't have time to paint a picture your 12th grade year to show that you got it together.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
right.
You can't paint
that picture. Right.
Then. It's 9th through 11th grade. So
dang, I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah. That's what I'm teaching all my juniors. See, that's why they're going to see, they know that already. See, they know that already.
But I think we kind of play catch up like 10th grade year because we was like, bet, let's go. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I worked with Miss Rudolph in her AVID classes. I would take my people in there to talk with her and her kids. So again, they know this already. That transcript from 9th through 11th is the one that tells your story.
And the 12th grade is going to add more money. Is all that's going to do. That's going to add more money.
Yep. So 9th grade, and I tell everybody, that essay, we can help you tell your story. 9th grade, that's your story. I was getting used to it. I didn't understand, whatever, but your transcript would show a progression. It should always show a progression.
Yeah.
9th grade was this. 10th grade, it got better. 11th grade, it got even better.
Yeah.
So that's what they see. I learned. Yeah. I understood. And plus, you got the extracurricular you can talk about. You've got so much more you can talk about and show that you are ready to take on what's next. Yeah. And so they're going to look at you, and they're going to look at your application and that 9th through 11th grade transcript, and they're not going to think you fell off 12th grade.
Yeah.
I mean, you've done all of this.
He might as well just keep going.
Right. So he's going to keep going. He's going to keep doing those things. So it's really important that again, freshman year is rough. Take it in stride. I love the fact that you took AP classes. I try to convince everybody to do that. I know it was a struggle. I know it wasn't the happiest moments of your life, but it built stamina. It challenged your mind to think in different ways and not just on a basic level.
Yeah.
So I like that. All right, let's see. Oh, what's one thing that you would like people, your counselors, your parents, your community members, to know about the real pressures of being a high school senior?
The real pressures are them long essays you gotta write, them teachers who just mean for no reason. Like, I ain't never taught you a day in their life, and just real strict. But that builds character, so that also is a good thing. How them grades look, don't worry about, like, and people always ask you how your grades looking, how's school going. What do you mean how's school going? It's high school, I'm new here, I'm still adjusting. Like, it's an adjustment. Then on senior year, have you chosen school yet? Have you doing scholarships? Are you gonna help me do them? But it's, and people ask because they want to know. And so I just started saying, if you send me some, yeah. And people did. Yeah, like, help me. Yeah. So that's
a good thing. You advocated. Yeah. They're gonna ask you. Okay,
you better help.
I need your help.
You better support.
Right. So that's a good thing. So being in it with the senior, not just being superficial, just checking in. Doing what they say you're supposed to do.
My mom would send me scholarships. I'm like, Mom, I did this already. Okay, I'm just making sure. Mom, I did this. You need to write an essay about Mom. You need. Oh, you did? Yes. And then at first I was like, she getting on my nerves. But then it was like, it's some kids who don't have that.
There you go.
There's some kids who don't have support.
Right. Because we even had parents that were coming in and were just not actively involved at all. They came in as a active duty and obligation because I'm supposed to do this.
Right.
But to be actually involved, sitting down, making sure it's done in a timely manner, that's that's another one of those investments that you talk about. You have to invest your time.
But then if you know and your parents ain't like that, you got to have that drive to want to get out.
There you go.
And so I used to tell, hey, get your mama phone and do the FAFSA. Hey, Mom, what's this? Question her. So in her mind, I'm just answering questions, but I'm getting some work done, right? So, like, if you want it, you
got to figure it out. You can't sit and not ask for help. I think I watched Straw the other night. Have you seen Straw yet?
Baby.
Yeah, I watched Straw.
Brought me to tears at the end.
And that was one of the things that I talked about. I wrote a little thing on my review of it. You get into a mindset of not understanding that you do need to ask for help.
Yeah.
And you need to be able to take off.
Educated.
Hey, you got to be able to take off whatever it is that makes you feel like I've got to struggle and get it out the mud and like this badge of honor is going to weigh on you. They're going to put this nice badge of honor because you struggled through and you get it out. No.
That's not how struggle works.
Yeah. That's not how it is.
But it was in a testament to, like, hey, smile and give positive energy and work. Grind. And when I hit that max, she know I would come in there and I'd just be going off. And she just stood there and listened. And she just stood there and listened. It's funny. It's funny now, but... Yeah. I used to be so mad, and she'd sit there and listen and be like, okay, hand me a hug and go back to class. What? But yeah, I think that movie is relatable to high school, is relatable to any scenario, because in high school, it's instead of a job in school, bam.
Right.
You know what I mean?
A lot of demands.
And she was young. So imagine these young people who got kids. Sound old, young people. Imagine my age got kids.
That's right.
In her scenario, who going straight into the workforce. So now, so.
And I think that's one of the things that I like, the face advocates that were there, and the supports, Check and Connect that was there, and all these people that would help. What you got?
Mr. Russ, the graduation coach. Yeah.
To be able to help and know that somebody's in your corner. Somebody is here. Somebody is listening. Somebody does understand. You don't have to put on this superwoman cape. Yes, you did this. You made that choice. Okay, it is what it is. But we can still make better choices now for you and for your child. So I think that's very important to know. Again, back to what you said, it's the power of your relationships. Make sure you're not coming in and operating in the silo and operating in silence. Find a trusted adult.
And sometimes you just gotta take a step out on faith. You just gotta take a step out on faith. Like it be rooms I come in loud. Her room all the time be loud, and there's people in there who be working. They be quiet, but when they get that bubbly feeling, oh, he's somebody I can talk to. Hey, he's always in a good spirit, so I'm willing to help you.
Right.
If you come in with great energy, and people are gonna be willing to put it on the line for you.
They are. Again, one of the go-tos that we had all year, if we needed something, we knew we would come to you. Hey, can you help with this? And would take it and would run with it. So there are a handful of you all that we know that we're going to be there if we needed you to be there. We know that we could, talk. There's been young girls that would come into my office and they would just be crying their hearts out and whatever. But another young girl had been in there before, and I could hook them up together so they could go through this and get over whatever it was.
Together, yeah.
And they would always be able to see somebody that had went through exactly what they went through, but they got through it. And there's a way to get through it. So I would always make sure they had community. Yeah. And that's very important. Do not, parents, make sure that you have community. I've been working a lot with some of the parents to connect them too. If you got kids going to the same college, I need y'all to build a relationship
right now.
I need y'all to have each other's telephone numbers, carpool, because somebody may not get here, but I need to send this down there to my child. Yeah. We have two that were going to Delaware State, and after pre-commencement, I was like, let me go find this mama, let me go find that mama. I need y'all together. I need y'all to exchange your numbers right now. Y'all got babies going to Delaware State. Yeah. That's a long way off.
Yeah.
Everybody can't go, but when you're going, maybe we can ride together, send whatever. You can check on my child because I couldn't come, and when I go, I can check on yours. So again, building that sense of community, building relationships with everybody is so important in order for you all to succeed. A lot of people think when you go to college, you grown, we're supposed to cut the apron strings. No, that's when we need to tie them a little bit tighter, but not in a helicopter parent mindset. But in a, now I am your true advisor.
Yeah. And what did I tell you? I said, hey, call me, harass me, and make sure. I tell anybody. They'd be like, oh, is there anything I can do for you? Yes, call me throughout my whole college. Yep. I need you to stay on me which I'm not going to slack off. But it's always good to, hey, how them grades? Okay.
I've done it with my kids. I've got kids graduated from West Point, colleges after colleges, and I'm still like, hey, what's going on in your life?
Right.
What you doing? How's it hanging? What's going on? And so again, those true relationships that you build, they will last forever. And that's why I tell my y'all, this is not a goodbye. This is okay. I'll see
and
you.
And everybody was crying.
Right. They crying. I'm like, what y'all crying for?
Pre-commencement. Oh my God.
Tears. You crying up on the stage.
On the stage speaking, and the Elena who did our welcome, she gets back and she's bawling. I'm like, no, don't do this. And she's like, this is it for us. And I'm like,
we go down there when Doc called us down. I'm like, would you take it off?
And Body was like, she is texting Lloyd, get tissue. Come get him right now. She's like, get tissue. But our motto at Lithonia is, in which a lot of people don't know. And when you walk in our building, you know how it's the step up part. Enter to learn, lead to serve. So I think with you all, with everybody in that building, with class of 25, we've left to serve, to do a service.
Yes, and that's what it's about. That's what it's about, building you all up to go make this world a better place. We got enough crazies out there as it is. So it's our job, it's our responsibility. It'll be your responsibility as an educator to not only teach them band and have them out there performing and getting their superiors and all of this, that, and other, but to make sure they're superior human beings too. Yeah. So that's very important.
And that's Lloyd all the way. You know that he don't care. Like he got it. He hated when they asked us to perform in the school, not because they asked us to perform, but you pull it from our kids' learning time.
Yep. And they need to be in those academic
and they need right. He was like, and he goes to war about that. Principal, whoever.
Right.
Hey, they won't be there. Why? They got to learn.
It's very important. Very important. Let's see. Let's talk about the cost of going to college, because
You know I know.
We've been going around and around, but this is the beginning. What did you discover as you were researching, applying to different colleges, and talk about the journey to you being able to go to college debt free?
How long? It took me a while to choose Savannah. It took me a while. At first, I was TSU all the way. Bam. And then they had a financial hit. And I was like, nope. All right. And so every school that gave me money, it was Voorhees. And I read it wrong. I'm like, oh, these folks giving me bank. Nope. Hey, Coach D, how this look? This total ain't what you think. All right. Okay, cool. But it was the process. I'm glad that I did everything early so I can weigh my options. And Coach D would always say, hey, take the emotions out of it. Because every day I'm changing schools. And she was like, hey, no. And so
you're not about to drive me crazy, sir.
But no, and Coach D was like, I don't know how we started talking about God. And I was like, yeah, this is it right here. This is it. And so I prayed about Savannah and I went to church. The band director called, hey, who's your band director? His name is Lloyd. Hey, bam, bop, boom. Send me evidence. I'm going to send you total. Here's the total. Ooh, yes, total. Right. Coach D, look at it.
Yeah, it was a good day.
It was a good day. And so but the expense, and it's went up. At first, it was $19,000 at Savannah. And some 19,000 something. And now it's 21. But because I kept grinding and kept doing, I still am going to be, I just graduated. I'm still going to be fine. Either way it goes. So it was a journey. At first, I was in Clark Atlanta. Clark Atlanta is like let's just go ahead and round up to $45,000 a year. Who finna pay that? I got a band scholarship, in which was Band Hope and Pell Grant. Came up to 20, so I was still short $20-some $20,000. Right. So I was like, yeah, that's not gonna work. But seeing what all goes into it and staying in state was really like, okay, well, if I stay in state, I got this. And Coach D was like, don't look at the school, how far it is, and you need to go visit. And you need to go see how it's like. You need to go see how the people are, and you need to just go there. And I still ain't been, but the trust, see, and I ain't about to turn to a gospel session, but the trust that I have in God on how it was presented to me, I don't even need to go. Because I had that much faith in right. And she was like, oh, I see you homecoming. Oh, you ain't got a word. Oh, we locked in. My daughter's best friend graduated from there. And even before then, Savannah State was one of the schools, and even with me as a single mom, and I had my children, one of the things I did when they were young was make sure they saw things outside of our hometown. Yeah. And I took them to Savannah State. And, we would be down there and I wanted them to see. And I've taken them to other places. They've been to Clemson. They had been to on college campuses from young kids just to get out there and to see that it is possible. Yeah. Things are possible outside of whatever community you come from. I can't be it until I can actually see it. That's that brainwash. I had to brainwash them with the positive. Yeah. And what they could be, where they could go. So those are things that, again, very important. Knowing how to cover the expenses. And that's one of the things for any counselor, for any parent, to make sure you have options. You start early, like you said. You apply. Still applying to this day. I'm still sending stuff. Okay, here's this. Listen, look at this. Instagram was blink. Coach, heart. Yep. Let's go ahead and get that done. If I see it, I'm sending it to them and continuing on, because you want to continue to have that money coming in as much as you can to be able to cover expenses throughout the year. Yeah. And to be under the mindset that even roll into next year. Yes, roll into next year, because a lot of the scholarships that you all get are only for freshman years with those community organizations. It was this one-time gift, this one-time award. We have on that one time every year. Yeah, we have to keep going with different ones and stay active in the scholarship. For any parents, make sure you understand that this is a two-way street. If you don't have someone like a Coach D in your building, you got to become Coach D for that child. Yeah. That means dedicated time, sit down. Instagram, they all up social media, in my room. If you in here, you filling out a packet. This is not everybody left, and I stay. I said, well, I might as well just go ahead and fill it. You coming in here, if you're gonna hang out during lunch, I need some scholarships going. I need something going to be able to pay, because it has never ever been a situation of getting kids into schools. Yeah.
the situation always comes
True.
with paying for the school.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what's most important. It's all glory and it's all glitz to be able to post, oh, I got accepted into 30 different colleges, 50 colleges.
And can't afford to go to not nail one of them. I'm sorry. I just
No, yeah.
Because they be posted and I'm like, and I never did one. But then I was like, I should go and just flaunt on these. But you know what? It ain't even about that. Y'all got all these options and can't afford to go to not nail one of them. That's so ghetto. Not nail one of them. I could at least went to a good 20.
Yeah, it's important. Again, it has never been a problem with us getting the kids in.
Yeah.
Our problem comes with paying and keeping them in. Some of them had enough to get their first semester, but had to go somewhere else or drop out second semester. So that's more important to me. If you're good enough to get in, I need you to be stable enough to stay in, financially, emotionally, mentally, everything. There's a lot that goes into choosing a place where you're going to feel like you're at home. And for a lot of us, and you would hear me say it, Miss Vega would say it, Miss Harper could say it, because we've been on a lot of these campuses, or we know kids, we've sent them there, or again, we visited it, whatever. But you would always hear, I could see you there. Oh. You would hear that like, yeah, I could see you on that campus.
Yeah.
Because again, we knew you all and we knew what you needed and the supports that you needed. We knew that if you could survive in this big old classroom full of 300 people in your English, 1101, or if you needed that 16 to 20 people in your classroom.
Yeah, you were still good.
Right.
Yeah.
If you needed that professor to know that you didn't come to class today, we knew who to put where. And so that's very important. Again, parents, know your children. It's not all about the ESPN school and the school with the greatest football team and all of this. Know your child. The objective is for them to go there, build relationships, get their degree, graduate, and get a career that they love, and that they will love doing for years and years and years. So that's what's most important. Again, all this for social media. You got the amazing photo, all the logos of the colleges all around it, all of that. That's cool. But your child needs to be somewhere where they're going to be mentally and emotionally
and realistic and with themselves.
Yeah. And not with everybody going in student loan debt, kids in debt, parents in debt. Again, that's why I left as director of financial aid. Because again, like I said, I saw all these parents signing their life away. Kid didn't even really want to be there.
Kid didn't even.
But they were told that this is the next big step. You got to go to school. You got to go to college. You got accepted in here. So I need you to max out your student loans this year. And then here I am going to sign this parent loan. So everybody in debt. Kid doesn't want to be there. Kid ends up leaving without a degree, but everybody got debt. So again, it didn't make sense to me. Yeah. So I left that world. And again, that's why I came into public schools. And that was way back in 2008 when I did that to try to help make a difference in this. So that was why I came. All righty. So, scholarship season can feel overwhelming. And I know I was sending you scholarships. Now, I remember one distinct, when I first started, I did not know that there was a fax that came in once a month or once a week about scholarships. So it wasn't that you didn't know.
It's all about who you know.
It's all about who you know. So speak on that and you and your scholarship journey and just the interviews for scholarships. Talk about those processes.
Miss Dixon, all about who you know. She was like, "Here, Grandpa, it's a packet about this thick of scholarships, all kind of scholarships." And then, of course, it's just that lady again. She come around, "Hey, you gotta, ma'am, how did you know I had this?" But the process was not easy, but yet it was not hard, right? So when you write so many essays and you learn, okay, now they're asking for this. I just got to change this around, and send it to them. And when you are precise and send it time they ask for it, because everybody wait until and the deadline. If you do it time and you see it, you're more than likely to be first. And when they open it and read it, so that was a thing. Scholarships take time, do it, and you got to set 2 hours of each day, and you'll be fine. Interviews. I had one. I was dumb nervous. I'm like, Coach D, I don't know what they're gonna ask me. I don't know what's going on. And she was like, "Hey, chill." I was like, why are you calm? She's calm through everything. I was like, why are you so calm? And then I went on ChatGPT and I looked up Savannah State alumni questions or whoever I was getting the interview from, and they had gave me an answer. And then I get in the Zoom, and it's like old people. I'm like, oh, bet that up. I know how to talk. What's up, lady? And so it was like, you just, that the answer I got, I didn't even use. And they were, well, how did you choose this school? Oh, prayed about it. Oh, you pray? He church? Yeah, I like you. Oh, thank you. Yes, ma'am. Oh, you heard from so and so? I know them real well, and they sent you over. Oh, yeah, I like you. Oh, you found us on Facebook? Yeah. Oh, and you told your friends? Oh, well, I got y'all three. Let's go. And so it was like a way of networking also. So it was, yeah.
Very important. Networking, relationship building again. And it's not so that you can name drop, air quotes name drop, but it shows that you have a good network of people, and these people will speak highly of you.
Yeah.
So it shows that you've put some work in, you've dedicated time to their events, to their organizations,
Right.
to them. And again, they can speak highly of you. And this world is 6 degrees of separation. Everybody is connected somehow. Mm-hmm. Somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. And I can't tell you how many times like kids would come into my office. I'm like, okay, let me call so-and-so. They would say something. I'm like, okay, I'm going to call so-and-so and let you talk to them about that experience or about something you needed. And again, those kids would understand that, yeah, you are connected to a lot of people, but these people pick up when you call. Mm-hmm. So, and that's based on, again, you volunteering, you serving others, like you talked about serving. You serve others, and then in turn, they will be able to help you out as you help others. So all of that is very important for you all to know that are listening, that always network and build relationships with people. It will carry you and go a long way. All right, so the last question in your high school journey, this is something for seniors. If a rising senior DM'd you and said, help, I don't know where to start, what would you tell them?
From like at my school?
Yeah, anywhere in general, like this process of trying to figure out where am I going. I'm a junior. I just finished my junior year.
And you're saying, okay. Yep. Hey, are you available to talk tomorrow? Okay. Is my first thing. Because texting is cool, but if I see you, if I can hear you, I hear struggle. I can see you want it, but you don't know how to get it. So allow me to connect you, to get you with the right, you know what I mean? That is always my first. Hey, are you available to talk? So, and so I can get your goal and figure out how to help you get there. I like that. And so again, that's you building a relationship, that personal touch. That's something that seems like we have lost in this world of technology. So like even right now we're recording in the studio today. So we're not doing my normal. I'm not tech savvy, so I was like, hey, I gotta pull
uncanny to when he asked me that, I was like, that's interesting. But sure, we can make it happen, because again, normally everybody's like, they're so involved in their technology, they're so involved and engrossed in it that they forget about being a human. And so they forget about this human connection, which is really, really good. So let's jump into what's next in Tylek's life. Let's go to that, because we talked a lot about where you are now, how you got through high school, and you're going to Savannah State. But what other goals that you have? Did you just show the shirt?
Yeah.
Okay. Savannah, he got his Savannah shirt. For those that are listening, he definitely is in here with Savannah State. If y'all would have seen this boy on decision day.
Baby, I don't like to be normal. And so like this shirt is nowhere on Amazon, nowhere on Pinterest, and my name is on the back. And then I have sneakers with the site. You know what?
Not you gonna hold up the sneakers.
Yeah, let's go ahead and show my.
Sorry, y'all. Y'all gonna have to go to the. It goes with everything. And then he had the cardigan.
And then I bought a cardigan that's not on Amazon as well.
Yeah, so he was Savannah State down on decision day. So okay, what goals have you set for yourself over the next 12 months?
To set up a system. to set up a system. So like I'll call her out of the blue.
He will.
Like, hey, what's up? You straight? All right, how's it going? Good. Bye. To set up a system for myself, to get a system for my classes, to get a cleaning system, to get a come home and system, to just get stuff together, because again, this is me on my own, right? I went at TSU in band camp last year and had a beautiful time, and that really is, I think that's more of why I'm not afraid to be on my own. And you got dropped off, and that's just it.
Right.
Mine is 4 hours away. You know what I mean? So that really helped me build the I'm ready step.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to tell parents, don't be afraid to send
to let your child go. Yeah. I've been to the Steve Harvey camp. So has Destiny. She got a lot of plugs.
She does.
Destiny has been to the Marjorie Harvey camp. I've been to the Steve Harvey camp. I've been to the Tennessee State Aristocratic Bands ELG camp. I've been to some more camps. I just went blank. But yeah, you got to be adventurous. You got to go out. You got to invest in your child.
Yes.
Send them, get the early bird special. Jackson doing one. And it don't got to be band. It could be basketball. Don Staley had reached out to Coach Johnson about her camp.
Oh.
Right. So I'm saying, you know what I mean? So like and there's camp for DECA. There's always a camp.
Right.
And you go out there. Like I got a lot of friends who all of us are going to separate schools, and then we all met at Tennessee State or at the Marjorie Harvey camp. So it's
building connections. You never know who those kids know.
Grow up to be,
Yeah, you never know. You never know. All right, let's round this up. We're gonna do a little round robin. I'm gonna ask you a couple of quick questions. Let's see what you come up with. All right. So what's your favorite high school memory?
Favorite high school memory is the first game. It rained and we had a ball.
Love that. Playing in the rain. All right. What's one teacher or staff member who made a difference and why?
I can't do that.
Give me one. I know it's a lot. Give me one.
I said Lloyd already.
Yeah.
So not him. Let's say and Mrs. Rowe. Mrs. Rowe has helped me build connections, a tit for tat kind of relationship. Stand on what you say, your ego. She, public speaking, I started with her as a freshman.
Love it.
So she was, and I was like, I can't talk. She was like, how about didn't talk? And I've been doing it ever since. So yes, Miss Rowe.
Love it. All right. Your biggest thing that you'll miss about high school?
I cried at my party after you left.
Oh gosh.
The biggest thing is being accustomed to this. Every morning I come in, hey, Mr. So-and-so, hey. It was like, how do you know all the staff? Knew all everybody. Just the custom of the norm.
Right.
Now it's a new norm. Then it's my band. It's not my band, but the band, the drum line. So it's breaking my heart, but I know gotta move on.
New chapter, not a new book, new chapter in this journey. And trust me, I know you'll know every professor at Savannah State. Well, you probably know them within the first 2 months, so they're gonna know you, one or the other.
Hey, have you heard about something?
Yeah, one or the other. I know it's gonna happen. All right, and the last one: if your life were a movie, what would the title be? What would the title be?
If my life was a movie, what would the title be? You never know.
You never know. Explain that movie. What's that plot on that movie?
You never know. It's twists, turns, life-changing decisions. Be like, I didn't know he did that. I didn't know. You'll never know. It's so much experience. You'll feel so much. If you don't feel anything out of that, how Scraw, the older lady said, if you don't feel anything, and you're a heartless person. In my movie, you gonna cry, you gonna laugh, you gonna be like, I was there for that.
All right. Yeah. And another one of those points in the movie when that lady said, you don't know how expensive it is to be broke, to be poor.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, that was a good one. All right. So our last question before we end this out. What's one thing you would like to be remembered for in this life?
In this life. for the work I've done.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
For the work I've done. So I feel like, and your work is on speak, right? So like the work I've done, that, because and people meet you sparks to your life, right? So like how we just met. I'm this age, you that age, but over time you'll be like, dang. So, and your work should speak for you.
It should.
Yeah.
All right, this was powerful, Tylek. I appreciate you coming in and being one of the super seniors. I'm hoping everybody out there, you got something out of this, whether you're a parent, a counselor, a teacher, a student. Know that life can be what you want it to be if you put in the hard work, if you build your relationships, if you network, if you just work hard at it daily, put some of that technology down and do the things that are going to really help you build the life you want to live.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
So much, little old me.
Yeah, little old me. Y'all wish Tylek well as he goes to Savannah State. How can people follow you? So those maybe some Savannah State alumni, they can get in connection with you to help you understand, especially with former band members of Savannah State, all of them.
Yeah, my Instagram is at capital T. It's 9 Ys. So TYYYYYYYLEK. And then there's a picture of me also.
You all those Y's, you got me wanting to ask, why did you put 9 Y's? But okay, y'all follow him. Y'all reach out, connect with him, especially if you have any connections, any people that he needs to know at Savannah State. Please, he's a great networker. He's a great person to have on any committee, any team that you may have going on, a hard worker.
He started a food pantry at his high school. Anyway, go ahead.
Started a food pantry. Again, he is a servant with a servant's heart. So please bring him into your communities and bring him into your organizations. Help him build that network while he's in Savannah as well. Even though I know he's going to do it on his own, it's always great to have someone that can connect you and support you and make those warm introductions. So please do that. Thank you all again, listening, watching the YouTube channel, Coach D Wants to Know, all of the above. Y'all like, y'all subscribe, y'all share. Put this out there. There will be more coming with more super seniors. And again, thank you for joining Coach D Wants to Know. I will talk to you again soon. That's a wrap for today's episode of Coach D Wants to Know. I hope this conversation sparked new ideas and opened up fresh possibilities for the future. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, share, and leave a review. Also, check out the resources available on my website, keystoneinstruction.com. And remember, the journey to success has many paths. Let's make sure every student finds their best fit. Until next time, together we can empower, innovate, and lead one student, one teacher, one leader at a time. See you soon.